You will not believe what just exploded in the entertainment world, AaronPierre. Yes, the AaronPierre has officially lost IT and the internet is on fire. But what pushed him over the edge? A shocking secret about TeyanaTaylor? One that could ruin everything. Are you sitting down for this? Because it's messy. It's scandalous. It's the kind of story that makes you clutch your popcorn and whisper, "No way, this is real." Insider sources are whispering that TeyanaTaylor, Aaron's supposed ride or die, is pregnant. But wait, brace yourself, the father? Allegedly not AaronPierre. Yep, you heard that right. Enter Joe Budden, Aaron's close friend, rumored lover, and apparently the secret villain in this twisted love triangle. Could Teyana really have been hiding this for months while Aaron stayed loyal? And the photos, the secret meetings, the late-night messages, oh, they're real, and people are talking dots, so what happened next? Explosions, confrontations, diss tracks, legal threats, social media frenzy. Fans are freaking out, leaks are going viral, and AaronPierre's meltdown is cinematic. Today, we're diving deep into this mess, the betrayal, the baby, the billion-dollar drama. Trust me, you're going to want to grab a seat for this one. AaronPierre had always been the calm, composed type, or at least that's what the public thought. Behind closed doors, though, the man who had charmed millions with his smooth persona was about to have his entire world turned upside down. It all started with whispers, just faint murmurs online. A hint of speculation in comment threads, but as usual, the internet never sleeps. And secrets have a way of leaking faster than you can say, scandal. And when the news finally hit Aaron, it hit like a ton of bricks. TeyanaTaylor, the woman he trusted, the woman he believed was riding by his side through thick and thin, was allegedly pregnant. But it wasn't his child. Not by a mile? According to sources that have asked to remain anonymous, Aaron discovered that Joe Budden, his so-called friend, might be the real father. Imagine the betrayal. You're not just dealing with a lover's infidelity, you're dealing with your best friend being involved in it, the one person you thought had your back, now revealed as the hidden villain in a story that feels ripped straight out of a daytime drama. Aaron's shock quickly turned to rage, and within hours the quiet whispers transformed into a full-blown media storm. Social media lit up with speculation. Fans were digging for receipts, clips of late-night meets and cryptic posts, and even supposed private messages started surfacing online. Every source claimed to have seen something. Every screenshot seemed damning, and AaronPierre, he was being dragged into a tornado he didn't even know was spinning around him. The details are messy. Apparently, the alleged affair between Teyana and Joe had been going on for months, maybe even years. One insider claimed that Aaron stumbled upon messages that were too intimate to ignore, and videos that speak louder than any words. Another source, who supposedly had access to private meetings, told our investigators that Teyana was playing a long game, balancing charm with manipulation, using her relationship strategically while keeping the public in the dark. Aaron, naturally, felt blindsided. The man who once boasted about transparency and trust in relationships suddenly found himself questioning every interaction, every smile, every late-night call, and it wasn't just the emotional fallout. Oh no, it went way beyond heartbreak. The financial layer added a whole new dimension to the drama. Rumors are swirling that Teyana had been leveraging her relationships not just for influence but for financial gain. From lavish shopping sprees to secret investments and luxury vacations, Aaron reportedly discovered that some of his assets were being used or at least tied into Teyana's world. Friends and insiders whispered about accounts he didn't know existed, credit cards he hadn't authorized, and a level of spending that suggested someone was playing a very long, very calculated game. AaronPierre's initial shock turned into a mix of humiliation, fury, and confusion. How do you process betrayal when it's entangled with both your heart and your wallet? The public reaction was instantaneous. Clips of Aaron's supposed confrontations with Teyana and even Joe Budden began leaking within hours. Some sources claimed Aaron went straight to confront Joe, and what followed was nothing short of cinematic. Heated words, shouting matches, the kind of tension that would make you hide behind the couch if you were watching. And somewhere in the chaos, videos that had been private suddenly found their way online. The internet went berserk. Fans debated, analysts speculated, and gossip pages practically exploded overnight. Every frame, every whisper, every screenshot became fodder for discussion. The story wasn't just about betrayal, it was about the spectacle. And the spectacle was only just beginning. Insiders also noted that Aaron's reaction wasn't just emotional, it was strategic. Sources claim he immediately began documenting everything, screenshots, recordings, statements, and possible evidence that could serve him in the inevitable legal fallout. And there's more. Some say Aaron even started drafting a diss track. Yes, a diss track, a musical takedown aimed at exposing the betrayal publicly, making it impossible for Teyana or Joe to dodge the spotlight. And knowing Aaron's history of turning personal drama into viral moments, fans weren't shocked that this was coming. It's classic AaronPierre, personal pain transformed into public entertainment. But this time, the stakes were higher. This wasn't just a feud or a petty rumor. This was betrayal, scandal, money, reputation, and a potential baby thrown into the mix. While Aaron's circle worked overtime to contain the narrative, social media had other plans. Hashtags began trending within hours, some supporting Aaron, some suspiciously defending Teyana, and some just reveling in the chaos. Every post, comment, and video clip became part of a larger narrative, a story that was spreading faster than traditional media could keep up with. Fans speculated about motives, timelines, and secret rendezvous. People began questioning Joe Budden's involvement, dissecting every old interview, tweet, and photo as potential evidence. Everyone became a detective overnight, trying to piece together what really happened. Meanwhile, AaronPierre's inner circle revealed that he was not taking the situation lightly. Late-night calls, emergency meetings, and private confrontations were all happening behind closed doors. Some sources claim that tensions within the team were high, with friends urging him to take legal action, while others suggested a more public response could escalate things further. And public appearances? Forget about them. Every Instagram story, every photo, every social media interaction was now under microscopic scrutiny. The world was watching, waiting for the next move. And AaronPierre was at the center of a storm he didn't ask for but now couldn't ignore. The scandal was no longer just about personal betrayal, it was spiraling into a full-blown investigative circus. Secret photos allegedly showing meetings between Teyana and Joe Budden, financial discrepancies hinting at manipulation, and the emotional aftermath for Aaron created layers upon layers of drama. Analysts and social media detectives began connecting dots that may or may not have existed. The narrative was spreading like wildfire: a trusted partner, a close friend, secret evidence, a baby, money, and now the court of public opinion. And as we all know, the court of public opinion doesn't wait for facts, it thrives on speculation. Outrage and spectacle, AaronPierre was reportedly at a crossroads. Sources claimed he was seething, strategizing, and preparing for a confrontation that would be both public and private. Rumors of legal action were already swirling, and fans were hungry for every morsel of detail. The betrayal, the scandal, the baby, the alleged financial manipulation, it was all a powder keg, and something tells us it's only a matter of time before the fuse is lit. And while Aaron may be calculating his next move, the world is already reacting, dissecting every piece of information, and preparing for the next chapter in what could easily be the biggest entertainment scandal of the year. And just when everyone thought the story had peaked, insiders hinted that things were about to escalate. Even further threats, confrontations, and maybe even public revelations that no one saw coming. The question now isn't just about who did what, it's about what happens next. And how far AaronPierre is willing to go to reclaim his life, his reputation, and possibly the truth. As soon as the news hit, the reactions were instantaneous, relentless, and completely unpredictable. Fans flooded social media, dissecting every possible angle of the AaronPierre, TeyanaTaylor, Joe Budden triangle. Every like, every retweet, every comment became part of the narrative. One moment, you had diehard Aaron supporters insisting he was the ultimate victim. The next moment, people were posting screenshots of alleged texts and late-night encounters that supposedly implicated Teyana in months-long secret rendezvous. The online frenzy was intense, chaotic, and absolutely delicious for those who live for this kind of scandal. But for AaronPierre, it was another layer of pressure on an already collapsing world. Leaked reports started surfacing faster than anyone could keep up with. Sources claiming inside knowledge alleged that Teyana had been meticulous, almost surgical, in keeping the affair hidden. Dinner dates masked as business meetings, private jet trips listed as promotional tours, and even cryptic social media posts that only insiders could interpret. According to one unnamed source who supposedly had access to private communications, Teyana played everyone like a grandmaster. Aaron thought he knew the story, but the truth was being written behind closed doors every day, every night, meticulously, without him suspecting a thing. It's the kind of betrayal that makes headlines. The stuff reality TV producers dream about, and unfortunately for Aaron, it was real life. Meanwhile, Joe Budden's involvement only added fuel to the fire. Anonymous sources suggested that Aaron confronted him directly after the shocking pregnancy revelation. Words were exchanged, voices raised, and one insider even claimed it got physical. Tables were slammed, doors were nearly broken, and the tension in the room could have been cut with a knife. Of course, the world didn't see it, but leaked whispers of the confrontation spread like wildfire. Every fan page, gossip blog, and entertainment news outlet began speculating wildly about what exactly happened. Was there a fight? A heated argument? Or was it all a cleverly staged meltdown designed to get public attention? The speculation alone was enough to drive engagement into the stratosphere. As if the emotional and public chaos wasn't enough, the financial dimension started to emerge. Reports, whether accurate or exaggerated, claimed that Teyana had been leveraging her relationships not just emotionally but economically. Sources alleged luxury shopping sprees on Aaron's dime, secret investment ventures, and access to assets that Aaron didn't even realize she could touch. One financial insider claimed she was always calculating. Every dinner, every gift, every favor, there was a method, and Aaron was too blinded by love to notice it. Allegedly, some of these transactions were only discovered after Aaron began digging for evidence following the pregnancy revelation. The narrative now had layers: betrayal, financial manipulation, and public humiliation, all rolled into one explosive saga. Fans on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok weren't holding back. Memes, videos, and reaction clips flooded timelines. Some mocked Teyana, some defended her, some speculated about Joe Budden's intentions. And then came the videos allegedly recorded from private meetings or late-night encounters that purportedly showed the three parties interacting in ways that fueled even more drama. Some clips were subtle, a lingering glance here, a whispered word there. Others were more incriminating, suggesting secret rendezvous and collusion. Whether real or doctored, the videos became the talk of the internet. And the story snowballed faster than anyone could track. AaronPierre's response, as insiders report, was both strategic and personal. While some suggested he considered legal action against Teyana and Joe Budden for defamation or invasion of privacy, others said he was drafting a diss track meant to air his side of the story. Sources hinted that every word, every beat, every lyric in the track would serve as both confession and accusation, a public record of betrayal, humiliation, and outrage. And with Aaron's history of turning personal drama into viral moments, fans were practically counting down the minutes until the track dropped. The mix of raw emotion and calculated exposure made this scandal both compelling and utterly irresistible to the public eye, but the story didn't just unfold online. Insiders claimed that Aaron was holding emergency meetings with his team, planning his next move and preparing for what could only be described as a full-scale public relations battle. There were whispered threats of legal filings, private investigators being hired, and a meticulous cataloging of every screenshot, message, and social media post related to Teyana and Joe Budden. Aaron wasn't just reacting, he was strategizing, and every move he made had the potential to escalate the situation further. According to one insider, he's angry, hurt, and humiliated, but he's also thinking 10 steps ahead. This isn't just personal anymore. It's public warfare. Meanwhile, TeyanaTaylor, or at least her team, remained eerily silent. Speculation ran rampant about whether she would go public with her own version of the story or continue to let rumors swirl unchecked. One anonymous source claimed she was quietly consolidating her narrative, preparing for the moment to strike back. Others suggested that she was leveraging the attention to strengthen her own brand, capitalizing on the scandal for maximum exposure. In the entertainment world, timing is everything, and according to insiders, she knew that the longer she waited, the more suspense and clicks she would generate. Public backlash began to hit in unexpected ways. Fans of Aaron flooded social media with support, calling for accountability and transparency. Meanwhile, fans of Teyana and Joe argued that the story was overblown, claiming the leaks and rumors were part of a larger scheme to tarnish reputations. Even neutral observers were drawn in, fascinated by the combination of betrayal, secret evidence, and alleged financial manipulation. Every discussion, every opinion, every viral clip added another layer to the growing narrative. Social media algorithms did the rest, pushing engagement higher and higher, making the story impossible to ignore. And yet, the most dramatic twist was still emerging. Sources hinted that the pregnancy itself might not be the only secret Teyana had been keeping. Allegedly, there were private communications suggesting further entanglements, secret deals, and connections that could potentially expand the scandal into areas no one anticipated. AaronPierre, caught between fury, humiliation, and strategic calculation, reportedly spent hours piecing together a timeline of events, reconstructing meetings, messages, and encounters to understand the full extent of what he was up against. And while the public watched, the private battle intensified behind closed doors. The stakes have only grown higher. AaronPierre isn't just dealing with a pregnancy revelation anymore. He's facing a scandal that spans betrayal, secret affairs, financial manipulation, leaked evidence, and a social media storm that refuses to die down. Every move he makes, every post he shares, every strategy he executes has the potential to shift public perception, fuel further speculation, and escalate the tension. According to insiders, tensions are at an all-time high, emotions are raw, and the next chapter promises confrontations, revelations, and perhaps the kind of dramatic showdowns that could dominate headlines for weeks. Just when it seemed like the story couldn't get any messier, whispers began circulating that Aaron might be preparing something truly explosive, something designed not just to defend himself, but to expose every secret, every lie, and every hidden agenda. The internet collectively held its breath. Everyone knew the story wasn't over, not even close. And if the rumors are true, what comes next could redefine betrayal, scandal, and public drama in a way no one saw coming. By the time the third act of this explosive saga rolled around, the story had become more than just personal betrayal. It had metastasized into a full-blown cultural phenomenon. Social media algorithms were practically working overtime, flooding feeds with every leaked clip, whispered allegation, and cryptic post from both AaronPierre and TeyanaTaylor. Every comment thread became a battlefield, every timeline a theater for speculation, and every fan a self-appointed detective trying to decode the secret lives of the trio. Some fans dug into old interviews, scrutinized throwback posts, and even analyzed body language in past videos, all to piece together a timeline that the parties themselves hadn't confirmed. It was chaos. And AaronPierre, once a man of private poise, had now become the central character in a drama that seemed to write itself every hour. Insiders reported that the financial dimension of the scandal had grown even murkier. Allegations of Teyana exploiting her relationships for material gain intensified as more sources came forward. One anonymous tip claimed, "It's not just about lavish spending. There are contracts, investments, and business deals where Aaron's resources were allegedly used without his consent." The public latched onto this angle immediately. Suddenly, it wasn't just betrayal or heartbreak, it was strategic manipulation on a level that read like a plot from a high-budget thriller. And in today's viral world, financial intrigue is just as clickable as emotional betrayal. Memes, reaction videos, and heated debates exploded across platforms. Fans, trolls, and media outlets debated who was truly in the wrong, while AaronPierre, according to insiders, quietly collected evidence for what could be the ultimate public reckoning, the alleged affair with Joe Budden also began dominating headlines. Anonymous sources claimed that their secret relationship wasn't just brief or incidental, it allegedly spanned months, meticulously hidden behind public appearances and business trips. A so-called insider even alleged that Aaron had obtained recordings of late-night meetings and private conversations between Teyana and Joe, creating a web of evidence that threatened to make every denial or spin from either party impossible to maintain. The gossip industry went wild. Entertainment blogs, viral TikTok channels, and celebrity news pages had endless material. Every new leak, real or fabricated, became a fresh reason to click, share, and comment. Meanwhile, Aaron's reaction intensified. Friends and insiders said he was no longer just responding, he was controlling the narrative in real time. Legal advisors were reportedly consulted. Potential defamation claims were being drafted, and private investigators were allegedly on the ground tracing every detail of the alleged affair. And then came the diss track, a move both theatrical and tactical. According to sources, every lyric was loaded with accusation, heartbreak, and outrage. The track was designed not just to vent but to expose, to make public what had allegedly been hidden in shadows for months. Fans speculated endlessly about its contents. Were there hidden references, veiled jabs, or outright calls to justice? The suspense alone fueled more viral engagement than any official statement could. Public opinion, naturally, was split. Social media quickly became a battleground. Die-hard Aaron supporters praised his courage and transparency, calling for accountability and justice. Others claimed the scandal was manufactured, exaggerated, or part of a calculated media play to generate views and clicks. And yet another camp argued that TeyanaTaylor had every right to privacy, framing Aaron's reaction as over-the-top or retaliatory. The frenzy only grew when snippets of alleged private communications surfaced online. Leaked messages, texts, and screenshots painted a picture of betrayal, heartbreak, and heated confrontations that made the saga feel like a reality show, but with real lives and real consequences at stake. Then there was the pregnancy itself, the alleged tipping point of the entire scandal. Reports suggested that Aaron had been blindsided not just by the news of Teyana's pregnancy, but by the revelation that Joe Budden might be the father. The layers of deception allegedly ran deep: secret meetings, hidden communications, and covert exchanges that kept the truth under wraps for months. Every revelation created a domino effect, prompting further scrutiny and speculation. Fans dissected every photo, every public appearance, and every cryptic post, looking for signs of guilt, secrecy, or collusion. The scandal wasn't just news, it was a 24/7 spectacle. As tensions rose, insiders hinted that potential legal battles were on the horizon. Aaron's team reportedly explored lawsuits for defamation, invasion of privacy, and possibly financial claims. The idea of courtroom drama only added more fuel to the public frenzy. Would there be public filings? Could there be subpoenas, testimonies, or leaked documents? The anticipation alone kept fans glued to screens, refreshing feeds for any update. And in the world of viral celebrity scandals, the mere hint of legal escalation is often as powerful as the facts themselves. The industry impact was equally dramatic. Friends, collaborators, and business partners were allegedly reaching out, some offering support, others expressing concern over potential fallout. In the entertainment world, reputation is everything, and a scandal of this magnitude could shift careers, influence partnerships, and affect brand deals. Industry insiders reportedly warned that silence could be as damaging as overreaction, creating a delicate balance between personal response and professional strategy. Every move Aaron made had consequences, and according to sources, he was acutely aware that the world was watching his every decision. Social media continued to amplify every moment. Viral TikToks dissected his facial expressions. Memes mocked secret rendezvous, and fan theories ran wild across Reddit and Twitter. Public interest wasn't fading. It was multiplying. Every clip, Every post, every alleged revelation brought new waves of engagement. And while many speculated about the authenticity of leaks, the effect was the same. The scandal dominated feeds, trending lists, and conversation alike. AaronPierre had become a central figure in a narrative that blurred the lines between reality, rumor, and public spectacle. The story had reached fever pitch. AaronPierre had lost control of what was happening behind closed doors, but he was gaining ground publicly, using strategy, evidence, and calculated exposure to reclaim his narrative. Meanwhile, TeyanaTaylor's alleged actions, Joe Budden's supposed involvement, and the secret pregnancy had transformed a private betrayal into a national spectacle. Fans, critics, and media outlets were all invested, waiting for the next dramatic revelation. Every social media post, every leaked clip, and every insider tip became part of a larger story, a story about betrayal, power, deception, and revenge. And just when it seemed like the dust might settle, insiders hinted that the next move could be the most explosive yet, a public revelation. A leaked document, or perhaps an even more dramatic diss track that leaves no one unscathed. AaronPierre isn't done. TeyanaTaylor's secrets might be unraveling faster than anyone imagined. And Joe Budden? Well, his alleged role in this mess is far from over. The storm is still raging, and if the rumors are true, what comes next could redefine the word scandal forever. The stage is set. The players are in position. And the world is watching. So now that AaronPierre has officially lost IT, the big question is, what happens next? Will TeyanaTaylor finally come clean about the pregnancy, the alleged affair, and all the secrets that have thrown Aaron's world into chaos? And what about Joe Budden? Will he step forward, stay silent, or vanish into the shadows while the storm rages on? Fans are divided, the internet is buzzing, and the drama is far from over. But here's the real kicker. This isn't just about betrayal or heartbreak. It's about power, money, manipulation, and how far people are willing to go to protect their secrets. And in true AaronPierre style, he's not sitting quietly. He's fighting back, exposing every detail, and making sure the world sees the truth, or at least his version of it. So we want to hear from you. Who do you believe? Who's really playing the long game? And how far is too far when secrets, money, and betrayal collide in plain sight? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if you're shocked. And hit subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter in this explosive saga. Trust us, if you think this is wild now, you haven't seen anything yet. The story is just getting started.